The music business today, as Scott Weiland has passed at age 48, lead singer of Stone Temple Pilots. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, Scott was a really talented vocalist. I'm a huge fan of it. So today, not really so shocking because he had a history of drug use, as so many of the other grunge groups have. Of course, notoriously Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, who passed at the young age of 27 from heroin addiction. Lane Stanley, who was also another great singer in that grunge era. Really powerful vocalist. He died at age 34 in 2002. So it seems to be a trend here. Now it's weird because Stone Temple Pilots, so there's usually 4 groups considered in the grunge era, which are typically Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, and Alice in Chains, which is one of my favorite groups. And they're all great groups. I love them all. And it's weird because Stone Temple Pilots always seems to not get enough credit. They were kind of considered grunge, but a lot of people thought that they were ripping off other people's styles, such as the 4 I just named. So it's really kind of, I never thought that they got quite a fair shake, but they made such great music with their 1992 album Core, followed up by their other album Purple. You probably know some of the songs. Plush is a great song. They were one of the bands at the time. MTV. They used to put on this series, the Unplugged series, which I'm sure you've seen. Where Alice in Chains performed in it.
Clapton is one of the most famous MTV Unplugged.
Yeah. So a lot of those guys did that type of stuff, and more so the '90s, the grunge era was like the Nirvana, Alice in Chains. And STP, they did an unplugged session, the acoustic version, and it was really, it was just great music. And Scott Weiland is, I think, vocally speaking, I think he's up there with one of the most talented ever to sing, especially in that grunge era. I personally really like Lane Stanley, but Scott Weiland was right up there, and he's really going to be missed. He was also in a band. He, of course, had a lot of fallouts with Stone Temple Pilots because of his drug use. After one of the fallouts, he joined another group called Revolver, which was him and Slash from Guns N' Roses. And together, they really kind of, it's rare that you get a group that also produces, good music after their original group, which was already great. So Velvet Revolver had some really great hits. Fall to Pieces. There's a Slither. So there's really a lot of great music that they produced, and Scott, Scott was really behind a lot of that. And of course, as in recent years, the group, because they got back together. I actually had the privilege to see Scott Weiland a couple years ago at the Rock Legions concert in 2012, right before one of what would be their last breakup. Of course, STP, as you know, picked up Chester Bennington of Linkin Park. So it's a sad day for the music world, and Scott will be sorely missed. And just produced great music, and a great music talent has passed on this past week.